Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you a 1 vs 1 in Total War Attila. I am playing as the Saphbed Empire, and I have a full cavalry army, so we'll see how this works out. You can see that I'm moving forward some of my elite immortal horse archers into the battle. I'm going to leave it on slow motion and possibly pause it while we look at the army comps, just because it's not a very long battle. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and pause it. So I've got 10 units of horse archers here. I've got 5 on either flank, so the Zahayadan Immortal Cavalry. And then in the front, I've brought 4 units of Persian Mounted Warriors, so a good standard medium melee cav. And then my secret weapon over here hidden in the trees, I've got 4 units of the Sogdian Camel Riders, or Raiders, I'm sorry. So I'm going to look to use them for a good flanking charge. They do also terrify enemy horses, so hopefully I can use that to my advantage. And I have Saphbed as my general here. And I am facing the Alanis, who's also gone with a very heavy cavalry-focused army. And this was a battle I played a while ago, I believe. Probably, I'd say 6 or 7 months ago. But in the front, he's got some Alani cavalry warriors. And then he's bringing some Alani swordsmen and some Agatharsi warriors and Salmatian band. So a little bit of a mix. And then he's got some Alani mounted veterans here, some Alani horsemen, heavy cataphracts mostly in the center. He's got some elite Agatharsi cavalry, some Tafali cavalry, and he's got his general here, the Alani general. So yeah, let's see how this works out. We're going to put this again on slow motion. And you can see my horse archers are quickly moving forwards to engage the enemy cavalry. Now, what my plan is right now is to kind of bait his heavier cavalry out against my horse archers and then just pick them apart. And I believe I have them set on fire arrows as well. So for those of you guys that don't know, fire arrows do extra damage against enemy cavalry. So it's worth it if you're targeting cavalry to use fire arrows. I don't know exactly why that is, but most of the cavalry for the Alanis is pretty susceptible to arrow fire anyways, just because their lancers have very poor missile block chance. So yeah, moving forwards then there, I've got my 4 units of Persian mounted warriors with Saphbed in behind. I've activated my other 5 units of immortal cavalry on this flank. And I'm moving my Sogdian Camel Warriors out as well. Let's go ahead and jump into them and see them moving forwards. Yeah, look at those axes, too. Look how ornate they are. Very cool. So yeah, right away I want to be extremely aggressive because I do have the advantage if I play aggressively. The horse archers are not going to play well if you play them defensively. You have to really get in there, kind of create confusion for the enemy player. You can see if we turn it on play, he has moved a lot of his cavalry over to this flank, but unfortunately he's just walking them. I think he doesn't want them to get exhausted, which I can understand. But they're just going to take a lot more volleys of fire arrows than would have been if they were just running. That's a pretty cool shot. You can kind of see all of the Persian cavalry there. We got the Alani cavalry slowly coming to meet them. Here come the volleys of fire arrows starting to pick apart these heavy Alani horses. Oh, that is such a nice shot. These Immortal Cavalry, they have a very good rate of fire as well. So that's one other thing that's going for me. Yeah, you can see once you start to weaken their armor a little bit, they are tier 3, but they will start to drop rapidly. I've got them on skirmish mode as well, so they're just going to continue to tug away. Over on this flank, we're just in time to see... Whoops, sorry. To see some of the cav charging forwards, but my Sogdian warriors actually have a Pila that they can throw, so I just destroyed that unit of Alani horsemen. And we've got more of the horses moving in through the trees. And I'm going to charge my heavy camel warriors into their flanks. They're also being fired upon by the Immortal Cavalry on this side as well. Oh, this is going to be a good charge, I think. This poor unit of horses, they're not even paying attention. Oh, that is a tough sight to see. Yeah, this cav unit is going to just get annihilated. Let's go ahead and pop this onto slow motion again, because I want to see what's going on in the center. Yeah, so we do have a very large aggressive charge by the Alanis moving forwards against my mounted warriors. But I've got all of my elite immortal cavalry firing in the flanks. I think that the Alani player realized that he wasn't going to be able to catch my mounted warriors, so he's just going to try to ignore them. Unfortunately, it's not the best plan, you know, to open up your flanks. So he really just didn't have much that he was able to do at this point. But he is charging forwards his infantry into my cav. So that's one engagement that he may fare well in. But he's got his general over here getting picked apart by the fire arrows with some Salmatian band and heavy Alani noble horsemen. I'm surprised that this unit of Tafali cavalry is holding out so long. Let's go ahead and jump over to, yeah, where I'm just setting them up to get some excellent rear fire into this cav. He is peeling a few units off to, I think, try to fend them off, but it's tough. It's really tough. If you can get a player that is very, very versatile and good with his micro with a full cavalry force, then there's really not much you can do about it. And not saying that my cavalry micro is amazing, it's really not, but I have been on the receiving end of these cavalry armies, and there's just not much that you're able to do against it. And it can be very frustrating if the enemy uses his cav correctly. Yeah, look at all of his cavalry, just really, really depleted at this point. My cavalry is holding out. They're only tier 1, but just because of the fire arrows, a lot of these horsemen have been picked apart and are breaking. And I've got Saphbed as well, trying to utilize his Pila. And I don't know if we're going to charge into the sides of these Agathyrsi warriors. It looks like we are. Oh, that's going to be a deadly charge. These guys have pretty light armor, but insane melee attacks. So if I can get a really decent charge off on them, it might not be the worst thing in the world for Saphbed. Yeah, I just you know, killed 60 men in that charge. That was pretty effective, I would say. And it looks like my camel warriors have finally wrapped up that flank there. We'll go ahead and pop this onto play. We're already almost done with this battle. It's just so fast. It's insane. But yeah, a lot of the horsemen are being pulled back into the fight. We've got the general still alive, but I'm going to be charging forwards with my camel warriors after the general. This is mainly the last stand here. Let's go ahead and jump into this big melee fight, though. I'm really impressed by how my tier 1 mounted warriors fared in this fight. They're just all pulling away. I don't know if he's doing a tactical retreat, but most of his men are breaking at this point, just to the might of my immortal cavalry. Here they come back into the battle, but yes, I've completely surrounded them with my Sogdian camel raiders. Let's get this shot here as well. Oh, nice engagement. Oh, let's watch these camel warriors here throwing their peel in before getting a nice charge. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that unit is pretty much gone just by that one charge. Well, they are Salmatian band, nothing too elite, but yeah, the general also wavering from the heavy losses he's taken from the fire arrows and the Sogdian camel raiders. Can see them fighting bravely there. This guy looks ready for battle right here. He's not even phased by the general being fallen there. Yeah, that's probably going to break most of them. Like, some of my horsemen are pretty depleted and wavering, but at the same time, they've done their job. They've held most of the Alani cav and infantry at bay, so I'm really more than happy to lose them at this point. They're really no longer of any use to me. You can see in the background all of my immortal cavalry riding forth from the trees victoriously. There goes Saphbed. He's going to aid the other fight with the Sogdian camel warriors. And, oh, actually, it looks like he's going to come for a rear charge behind here. Behind these warriors. Yes, nice. That's for sure going to be the nail in the coffin for these brave Alani soldiers. And, yep, there we go. Pyrrhic victory. So let's end the replay. Take a look at some of the results here. So, yeah, a lot of my cavalry faring very well. The horse archers doing decently. But look at these Persian mounted warriors here. 124, 120, 115. Saphbed 100. So really, really good there. For the Alanis, he would have done well. I just think this infantry might have been a little bit of a waste of money, but at the same time, he probably didn't expect me to bring an entire cavalry force. That's kind of the chances you have to take in multiplayer battle. But a lot of his horses just really didn't fare either. A lot of them got into melee, but by that time they were so depleted they just really didn't get any kills. Only 207 losses there, so... yeah, if you can use your cavalry very effectively like this, then it's great. And like I said, I've been on the receiving end of a horse archer army, and usually it's a massacre. You need to have brought some really light some really light melee cav to kind of get into the fight with them quickly enough. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this battle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more Attila content, and I will see you in the next one.